Okay, welcome back to another video here for PD2. This time I'm going to be giving you guys an overview of what Uber Ancients are and the economy behind it. So you're going to learn how to do it and what the point of doing it is and what you can expect to make. So just for context, Uber Ancients were added in Season 5, which was a long time ago. They didn't really touch them for a few seasons. They've increased the drop rate of the sigils over time, and so yeah, let's just get into it. So what is Ancients, right? Uber Ancients is a little mini Ubers event you can do. You can solo it, it's pretty easy. It requires 3 sigils. I don't have the second or the third one here, but there's one from what they all drop in maps. So Sigil of Madwhack or Madoc, I don't know. It drops from tier 1 maps. So while you're in a tier 1 map, you'll find these, and you'll probably find one per map on average, maybe less than that, but they're pretty common. And then you've got Sigil Italics, the red ones. These ones drop from tier 2 maps. And then there's Sigil of Corlic, which is a blue one, and it drops from tier 3 maps. So you put all 3 in the cube, you hit transmute, and it will spit out one of these guys, Relics of the Ancients. So I've got a whole bunch here, and basically you come over here to Act 5. You gotta be level 80, and you gotta have Hellbale killed. You come over here, and you just right click it. I've already done it in this map, so let me make a new one. Yeah, well, I'll make it in a sec. But basically, how it works is when you have like 3 difficulty options. You can select to kill 1, 2, or all 3 of them. I've always just done all 3. I've never tried it with 1 or 2. And the big change this season is that Standard of Heroes, which is a very valuable item for endgame mapping, is only available from Uber Ancients. This used to drop in Uber Trist, and you get 1 per player in your game. So what a lot of people would do is they would, right before they kill the last Uber in Tristram, they'd have 7 people join the game, and then 8 would drop. And they were pretty worthless. In the first couple seasons, these things could be socketed into gear, and it would give you the glow effect when you have like a full set. They got rid of that. You can't put it in gear anymore. And yeah, what it does is it gives you 10% XP, 20% monster density, and 20% gold find. Now, why is this important? Well, this season they actually changed the ranges on monster density and upped the base monster density. So what that means is that before you used to be able to get up to like 300-400 density on a map, and that was pretty good. I think it might have even higher. Now a good map's density on a rare map is somewhere around like 100-150. I think is the cap. So 20% is a huge change when that's as high as it can go, right? So let me just, for an example here, take this map. Let's re-roll it a few times. Yeah, this is my re-roll one. So right now this map's not very good. It's only got 50%. So we're going to re-roll it a few times. So we got 36, 74, 94, 106. So that's pretty good. And it's got the dropping additional weapons, but usually, try to get a little higher, 111, 58, 72, 84. You get the picture. So density, really, like if you get around 100, that's pretty much good. You can stop. And so the best thing to do with maps is, okay, you get one that's good and that you can do. You try to get around 100 density, then you slam it, okay? And slamming it's always going to add a decent chunk of density. That's where you're going to get most of your density out of map, so that's great. So now it's at 150, and now I'm going to standard it and see how it says heroic. So this is a juiced up map. So if you're end game mapping, you're going to want to standard every map you do, because it's just more value out of your time, because you're just going to get more bang for your buck. So these are very valuable to players once they've reached the end game and they're mapping. They're going to go through 50 to 100 of these a day. So they're really highly demanded by the player base, especially now late into the season. So it's a great thing to farm. That's kind of how they work. Every time you do Ubers, if you kill all 3 of them, you'll get 3 standards. Okay? A single standard is going for 3 World Stone Shards at the present. And each of these sigils, 1 sigil is usually equal to 3 World Stone Shards, which means 1 sigil equals 1 standard, and it takes 3 sigils to get 3 standards. So it's actually a really nice breakdown in the economy-wise. And so basically, if you do the Ubers and you sell the standards, you will be able to continually do Ubers, because you'll always be able to get more standards, and basically all of the drops that drop in the Ubers are yours as profit. And that's what I've done basically for the second half of this season. If we look at my dot kills ancients, I've done this 215 times. So I've spent, and I've paid for each sigil 3 shards, sometimes 2 if I get lucky, but I've spent over 600 Rollstone shards on just sigils, and I'm way up. Okay, like I have. Not only do I just have a ton of runes here, I made a Last Wish. I've got an Innocence. I've got crazy gear here, guys. I've got all this other gear that I don't use right now because I'm, so I've made out really well. So I just wanted to share this with the community. It's a great thing to do. There are people running it, so there is competition in this market, of course. But it's not like the market for, Rathma or Declone or even Ubertris. Once later on in the season, which is where we're getting to, average player count now is only around 2,000 per day. Like at any given time, there's more than that, but like if you log in, you'll probably see 2,000 online, maybe 3,000. Those higher end things like torches, eventually everyone has a torch. Like I have a torch, I'm never gonna buy another torch. I have an Annie, I'm never gonna buy another Annie. It's not a perfect Annie. I've never really cared about that. Some people will try to get a perfect one, and basically lower end torches and Annies, they just drop in value, and it just becomes not profitable to run Ubers and stuff like that. So unless you get an extremely juiced up drop, which is really rare. So this is lucrative. I'm gonna go into it. I'm just gonna do some, and I'll talk about exactly how you do it. So you come over to this blood fountain here, you right click this, it teleports you in. You will lose all your buffs when you teleport in, so you can't pre-buff or pre-summon or anything like that. So I've got a call to arms on my swap, so I'm just gonna buff myself and my merc, and I'm gonna apply my holy sword, right? I'm playing physical charge paladin. I believe this is the best way to do this. I haven't really tried it with any other ways. A few seasons ago I did it with summons on, but summons on is it is what it is. This is, I think, a way faster and safer. So I've got my merc here. My merc's pretty good, and of course, yeah. So you come in. There's the altar. When you click this, it'll start the fight. So if I only want to fight this guy, once he's gold, I can click the altar and I would just fight him. But I want all 3. So I'm going to click all 3, and then I'm going to click the middle. And the most important thing in this fight is to kill Madoc first. Now Madoc is the one that does lightning damage, and you'll see exactly why in a sec. So as soon as I click that, I get on Madoc. I'm going to probably start taking heavy damage now because all 3 of them are on me. So I'm just keeping an eye on my health. I'm clicking a full rejuve when I can. And that's kind of it. So, yeah, I'll get into more of the strategy there in my setup, but basically the loot for this, every time you kill all 3, it is the equivalent of killing Hellbale 9 times. That's the loot reward. So every individual ancient is worth 3 Hellbale kills. And of course you get the 3 standards guaranteed. So Very good. Now you can't get primeval souls out of this, so that's like something you can't get. And then you also can't get, what do you call it? The stuff for re-rolling your abilities. You can't get that either. And of course, when you enter here, you can't leave until you either die, and then it's over. You lose the relic, or when you're done, it gives you this portal that lasts forever. So, yeah, that I'm pretty optimized for this. Now, I've been doing this way before I had all this gear, but basically, the number one thing you want to do is be able to kill them as soon as possible. The longer you're in this fight, the more rejuvenation potions you're gonna burn through, and then you're gonna have to spend more money buying rejuvenation potions, and so that really cuts into your profit. So the more damage you can do, the better. So, right now, right now, crushing blow is really what I'm after. So if we look at my stats here, let me get myself out of the way here. Put me over here. Yeah. Okay. So my crushing blow is over 100. 100's the cap, but I have a last wish. So last wish gives me a ton of crushing blow, life tap, which is like super useful for healing, and fade. So, I mean, you're not going to need a last wish to do this at all. It's just purely a nice thing to have. But any weapon with crushing blow is going to be fine. So that's the main thing you want. A lot of crushing blow, because they take a ton of damage from it. You also want. You also don't have to worry about life steal or mana steal. Okay, so let me just finish this trade here. So he's got 31 T2s, 31, so 53, 58, 58 times 3, so I can do low goal. Well, let's go low mal for all that. See if he'll. 53. So this is good. I mean, you guys are seeing the trading, so. So 17, 8, so 19. Okay, so you just saw people line up to fucking sell them. So, basically every one of those trades I actually traded for in favor of me. So I paid less than 3 shards per thing there. So I should make a profit just on the sigils. So anyways, now that that's over, sorry about that. Yeah, this is the tier 3 sigil. So you can see you put all 3 in there. Boom. You get one of these. So let's do another. Pretty good on sigils now. I'm not going to buy any more for a little bit. So yeah. What do you need to be able to do this fight? So you need some health. You need at least, I think, to do this safely, you need at least 1,500 health. And the way I get to there is with my call to arms. Puts me at 1485. Now, you can get there with like charms, other gear. 1,500 health is good if you're a paladin. Okay? Why two-hander instead of a shield? Well, most of the reason is because you want to be able to kill them extremely fast. So a two-hander is going to double your damage. So you're going to kill them twice as fast. It's simple math. They all do elemental damage, a ton of it. They do physical damage too, so having PDR is really nice. I don't have any on right now, but I have life type, so that's why I don't have it on. Madwhack does the lightning damage, and so, okay, and Korlik is the cold one, and Talik does fire. And so I'll just go over their abilities. So they will attack you. Korlik will do a leap attack. He will often have Holy Freeze Aura on. So when he leaps, it just does a bunch of cold damage. So you gotta watch out for that. Maddock will ranged attack you, so he'll like throw little like ranged lightning bolts at you. He will also summon a lightning storm, which drops a whole bunch of lightning bolts on the ground. That does high damage, like super high damage. And thirdly, he will put the assassin skill that puts little lightning webs on the ground. So if you're standing on that, you'll take a fuck ton of damage. He's the most dangerous one. And Talik whirlwinds around. He has blades on him, and he casts Firewall, I think. So he doesn't do as much damage. Korlik is the second most important target to kill, and Talik is the one you kill last. He doesn't do that much damage. So Fire Absorb, Lightning Absorb, and Cold Absorb goes a long way in this fight. If you have a Wisp Protector, the Lightning Absorb's great. If you have a T-God's Belt, Lightning Absorb's great. Raven Frost is really good for Cold Absorb. And Fire Absorb you can get from a Dwarf Star if you don't have a Wisp Protector. But it's not needed. But it's going to carry you a very far if you have it. Resistances are extremely important. I don't have them maxed out because I have Fade when struck, which will trigger most of the time, and it puts me at maxed resistances. But you want to make sure all three of these are maxed. None of them do poison damage, so you don't have to worry about poison damage whatsoever. You want to be able to hit them, so attack rating is good to have. Now, I have ignores target defense, so I'm capped at 95 here. I don't have that much attack rating, but 95 is pretty damn good. And once you have enough damage to be able to kill them quick enough so that you're not going through all your rejuvenation potions per fight, on average you might want to use 4 to 5, maybe 6 if it's a really hairy one. Any more than that and you're kind of losing money because you have to buy these. Full page is like around Malrune or Umrune. So that's that. And then, once you've optimized this, you can put on Magic Find gear. So that's what I've done. I've got some Magic Find. And yeah, that's kind of all I've done here. I've got 300 Magic Find, which helps a lot. And now I'll just shut up and I'm going to do a couple of these and you'll see the loot. I got an Arachnids like a couple minutes ago. In my 200 kills, I've found a Jarun, a Surun, a Vex, an Ohm, actually 2 Vex runes, a bunch of Mals, Ists. You find tons of maps, like an insane amount of maps. And a good way to make money off this is to cube your maps up so that they become tier 3 maps. And once they do that, you have a chance at getting the cow map, and then you can re-roll tier 3 maps and sell cow maps. Cow maps sell for Ist or Mal all day long. People love doing cows. So you see this one didn't drop too much. The second thing you get out of this farm is a ton of gold. So because the vendor's right there and you're so close to town, what I do is I literally pick up pretty much everything and I just vendor it each time. You also get a ton of rare rings, as you can see. I've found lots that have dual res and slammed them. I've kept them for like personal use. But yeah, basically you go in there, you pick up the items, identify them. There's some things you want to look for, like that can be really good, like boots, coronets. Like that's 3 to traps. I'm probably going to slam that, see if I get 4 to traps. You get on average like 2 to 4 Worldstone shards per time you kill them, usually. That time I got 1, so that wasn't very good. Armors are another thing to look for. The armor, because these guys are pretty high affix level, because the area level's high, you can get the mods on armor that gives you up to 200% enhanced damage, which is, if you get one of those, they sell really, really good. So yeah, you get lots of maps, you get tons of gold, and of course 5 million gold's worth about a Malrune. There is some weird thing where in the game that you kill them, if you have a stack of existing standards, they won't stack together, but when you leave and join a new game, they will start stacking. What else? Yeah, I'm going to slam this. No, got nothing. So, and I'm at the point in this game where I really don't try to sell stuff unless it's totally GG, because I just don't have the time. Or I do have the time, but I would rather spend it farming and playing rather than trying to like hustle for trading and all that. Sometimes the fight is more difficult than others because they do spawn with different mods on them. Like they can have more crushing blow or deadly strike or like pierce, stuff like that, and they can be more difficult. So you can see all the loot for this one. I got a unique ring. I have found, probably not joking, at least 60, maybe 70 unique rings and amulets combined out of this. I haven't found a good... Well, I found an Atma's and a High Lord's, but yeah, you get skillers, you get all kinds of shit. It's just a really, like, okay, here's a dual leech ring. It's not that good, so I'll just sell it. But you get a lot of all resist rings. Yeah, it's another Nagel. Well, that's a 38 one, so that's good. I'll slam that. This, I'm not gonna slam that. That's not good. Got a skiller there. So that's cool. I don't bother with these blues. I mean, if I have room in my inventory and it's the last time going back to town, I'll pick them up. It's just a vendor. As you can see there, I've got the 60% enhanced damage, so that can roll up to 200. That's what you're really looking for when it comes down to those items. And yeah, you can see how it's very quick. I sold my death, which I was using earlier. But I'll put on this grandfather, and I'll show you that you don't need a last wish to do this. Let me see. So if I'm not using that, I want Atma's. You know what? Nah. Actually, yeah, I do want Atma's. That's what I was using earlier. I'll put on my Verdungos, and I will put on my Soul Drainers. Okay, so not too crazy. I'll even put the Fort on. Get rid of this. The only reason I have this is to proc Life Tap. So I'm using a 1OS Grandfather, big deal. A really bad Fort, big deal. I mean, my G-Face is really nice. So you know what? I'll take that off. I'll put on a pretty bunk Shaco. Or actually, I'll just put on this bunk Veil of Steel. Whatever. In Atmas you can get. So the stuff I'm wearing now is like really not all that great. My crushing blow is only 15. My deadly strike's 15. So that's kind of low. So what I'm going to do instead actually is I'm going to put on these steel rends. Because I want more crushing blow. That would be more, adequate for this fight. Where did my... Oh, it's there. Okay, so yeah, let me put some stuff away here, and we will try this again. Let's slam this. Attack rating. I'll keep it because I don't have a second one that has high magic. Fine. So, yeah, it does take more time to manage your inventory than it does to like actually do the fight, which can be a little annoying. But all right, so now I'm doing less damage, and I don't have nearly as much crushing blow. I've only got 30. I didn't grab a sigil. This is a lot more what you would see if you were doing this. I don't think anyone else even has a two-handed last wish right now. So let's see. Put my money where my mouth is. This is going to be a lot harder. You'll see my health is actually going down because I don't have the life tap. And yeah, you can see, look, I burned through half my pots there. And I don't have all that magic find, so a lot more of it's blue items, but that's fine. It's just all RNG anyways. But yeah, you can see it's totally doable, even with pretty whatever gear. I started doing this when I had basically no fortitude. I was using a Duriel shell. I was using this grandfather that I bought at the start of the season and Lazariked it after corrupting it. That's all kind of meh. I'll keep the Mavs just because that stuff does sell pretty quick for a shard or two. I'll grab whatever's left here that's like useful. And well, let's take a look at this. Nope. And that's the other thing, if you don't want a vendor, you can just sit in here and ID stuff. But yeah, you can see when you don't kill them quick, you go through a lot of pots, your merc will die, and then it becomes really expensive to keep your merc alive. I'm going to switch back to my other gear. Oh, that Nagel ring is better, so I'm just going to use it. Yeah, and my last wish, where did that go? There we go. Alright, some Avinas, I've got a couple of those. I'll sell this shit. And we'll do a few more. And the nice thing about having a lot of relics is that you can just keep going until you basically run out of rejuvenation potions. And then, you know, buy some more of those. What I like to do is anytime I'm buying anything, I like to offer people standards instead of currency. And a lot of people aren't even aware what they do. So once they find out what they do, most people are like, damn, yeah, I want some of those. Yeah, basically with the life tap, you don't have to use rejuvies unless you get really kind of fucked, like right there. Another thing they'll do is they'll battle orders themselves to get more health. I think they even do that one shout that lowers your... Oh, look, okay, so this was a very good one. We got a Rainbow Faucet, a Lem Rune. 4 shards. Oh, was that 5 shards? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 5 shards, a Lem, a Rainbow Faucet, and a unique ring. So you'll get those like, you know, at least 1 every 10. You'll get something crazy like that, and that in itself is worth it. Even if I would do this, even if the sigils cost more than one standard of heroes, I would still do it. Anytime you get a faster cast rate one, you want to keep that. So it was a Saracen's Chance. Some people like these, so I'm gonna keep that. That might sell for a couple Worldstone shards. It's a shitty faucet, 3/3. At least it's cold. That will sell for a Worldstone shard or 2. The cold builds right now are really popular. So even though everything kind of missed there, it was kind of a big miss. I did get 5 shards, so that one was pretty damn good. Yeah, so we'll keep going here. And you want to like really kind of get into a groove where you're putting your stuff. Like I'm gonna sort through all this eventually. I'm putting anything that I want to slam over here. Wait a sec. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is what I've gotten so far tonight. So that's like the fourth ring. That was unique. Come over here, revive the Merc. Now the Merc is good to have because he will actually just kind of tank for you, which is nice. Mine has a Pride, which, you know, is great, and with life tap, he actually can survive if we're both on the same target here. Oh yeah, one of them does meteor as well, so you want to be careful of that. Really what happens is the only time you'll die is when their special abilities kind of like overlap with each other. We got another faucet, so that's cool. That's another reason why I like to run lots of Magic Find, is finding faucets. Faucets can be quite expensive if they're perfect. And people are kind of weird. They'll pay more money for a faucet that is of the same color as their other faucets because they want things that look nice. Was that a good wand? I don't know. It's gone. Ethereal Steel Carapace. That's good. And it's 2 to all skills. Okay, there's a big hit. Look at that. I don't know what that's worth, but that's worth something. You want Eth on that because it's got the repair mod. Almost perfect cold res. Pretty high defense. And importantly, the 2 to all skills. I'm going to slam this right away. Let's see what I get. Probably brick it. I've bricked so many things. Okay, that's a 4/3 faucet. Poison, not very good. That's not good. That's not good. And that one you saw, we got no shards. So sometimes you get no shards. It's all just RNG. Nudge Puzzler's good. People buy those. All right, let's see what we get here with this Steel Carapace. Not a good slam. But we didn't break it. That's still worth something. You know what? I'm gonna put it on my Merc because I want him to have 2 to all skills. That'll give me more crit damage, or sorry, crit chance from his Blessed Aim. So I'll do one more here. And here's the bug. See, I'm trying to put it in my stash, and it won't. And it will not stack with this 29 until I leave game and make a new game. So I'll show you that. I don't know why that happens, but now it stacks. So okay. In case you didn't know, the blade shield from this thing procs on striking. It doesn't proc on attack, so it's not going to trigger your charge bolt. It will trigger life tap though, quite often. We're starting on Madrock, and when they all come together here in the beginning, you see the lightning storm came out. He leaped. He almost died there. So it's still difficult. It's not like you can just close your eyes and do it. You have to pay attention. So we got a lidless. No, what is that? Is this good? No. Swirling crystal. Oculus. Yeah, 3 to all skills. So that's cool. I'll probably slam that too. Large siege bow. Which one's this? That's the cliff killer. Okay, that one's no good. The Zakram shield will sell for a lot. Right. Yeah, I'll do one more. And they're so quick. That's what I like about this. I don't like doing maps anymore because of just how like easy this is. So we got a Blood Moon map. That's a Malrune. Tarnhelm is... no, it's not good. In maps, you're constantly stopping to pick stuff up. Your inventory gets full, and you have to go back to town, and like it's just like I'm just over it, man. I just don't care. I can just sit in here. I can just do trades. I can life after each kill. That's decent. So that's probably like a pull rune, maybe. You can do trading. Like it's got this little micro economy. I just like this a lot more than mapping. I still do maps here and there, like when I don't have sigils or I can't find any sigils to buy. But it's not my preferred activity anymore. This is great. I really love this change this season. So yeah, start on Madwalk, and once they're all three together here, that's when the damage starts coming out. With life, whoa, yeah, see. If you pay attention to when they do their abilities and try to like use a potion. Oh, look at that, another arachnids. 2 arachnids in one night. That's crazy. The first one I got was only 15%, so we'll see how this one is. Yeah, I'm getting really lucky. Usually it's not this good, I'll be honest. I think it's just because I'm recording. But yeah, Leorix is garbage. I'm just going to vendor that. Hell Plague is garbage too. I mean, Leorix, like you'd think it's good, but I rolled a 4OS one, and nobody fucking cares. I mean, I'll slam it, but 19 Iraq, that's pretty good. So, we'll start with this. Yeah, got total garbage. And I bricked it. Of course I bricked it. That's 3 of them now that I've bricked. So that feels bad, but whatever. Easy come, easy go. And because I bricked that, I'm going to do one more. Oh, and because I bricked that, now I'm going to slam this one. And it shouldn't brick. A increased chance of blocking, so that wasn't good anyways, this Iraq. Oh, I did want to brick, or I did want to slam this. Life after each hit. Is that good? No, you want probably 6 OS in that thing. Shadow killers, I want 1 skill. People really only use this to buff. Well, that's garbage. Let's slam this. Maybe we get 1 skill on this. Blocking, so. Yeah. We're looking for double FCR here. Same with this one. Nope. How about this one? That one bricked. Slam the door star. That one bricked too. That bricked into something good. Wow, that's really good. So all res, lifesteal, max damage, and half freeze duration. So that's actually decent. I'm gonna keep that. This one looks pretty good. I've never seen a 12-12. The other mods suck, and it's gone. But it bricked into, again, something not that bad. And we might as well just brick this too. Yeah, no good. So yeah, at the end of it, I have just this shitty Iraq. So that's the way it goes. I have a ton of these rings. I haven't tried selling them because, like, it's just there's only. I hate the trade site. You can only post like 5 pages of things, so I constantly have other stuff up there that I want to get rid of to make room instead of rings. So I just have all these rings, and I think a lot of people just have their own rings. They're not gonna buy any. Oh, I gotta make a new game. All right, this is the last one. I'll joust sometimes if I want my merc to like get here. Okay, so there's the lightning storm. He's leaping. The blaze is out. This is like the most amount of damage I'm gonna take. So anytime I get below half, I'm just clicking a rejuve. 'Cause dying is like a huge bad. Oh, there's an Istron, so that's nice. If you die, you lose a Malrune every time. That's what these cost to do. So you do not want that to happen. Oh, that's cool. I was able to pick everything up. Now, of course, I have a loop filter on. And so what I'm going to do actually is I'll do one more, and I'll have my loop filter show all items. So you're getting to see everything. That's not good. That's another FCR ring I'll slam. Yeah, I'll do one more with no loop filter. And you'll see it is a ton of gear that falls on the ground. Doesn't look like much, but it's because I have it on strict, and it's like hiding pretty much everything. Alright, grab another one. I'm going to change my loop filter to just hide trash items. Alright, see how like all of them converge there, and I took huge damage? That's pretty much it. You just have to be ready for that, and ready to like click a few rejuvenation. So yeah. You can see, well, the notification's always going to be the same, because it's the good items. We got a ring. Yeah, you can see there's just so many items that I can't even really see the standards yet, so that's why I use a strict loop filter. A lot of these items, I mean, if you're looking for crafting bases, this is definitely a very good way to find them. It's a Ravenfrost, so okay. I've yet to find a Saj or a wedding band or a wisp myself this season yet. Oh, it's coming though. I've definitely put in the numbers to get one. Yeah, you can see that if you need gold, you just turn your loop filter off, and were those good? No. Come in here, pick up some shit. A very quick way to get some gold. Oh, those aren't good. They're all blue. And because you're so close to town, it's just super easy. Yeah, I'm not sure what else to say. Any class really that's melee is going to be pretty strong at this fight. Range classes kind of suffer because you're just going to get hit with a lot of stuff. You don't really have crushing blows, which is, you know, the reason I'm killing them so quick. Meteor Sork is decent. That's a decent Talos weapon. I'll keep that. Yeah. Summons are good at this, but the problem with summons is you have to summon them every time, so it just takes more effort. Let's slam this. Magic fine. Yeah. I mean, it's still fine. Nothing wrong with that. Someone will buy it for a World Stone shard. I'll get my shard back. And yeah, you can see these things just start to add up. And you know, if you didn't get many items out of it, and if you're not, I mean, you could just not slam stuff like me. I slam literally everything now. You get a lot of world stone shards, and you get these. So a stack of 50 of these should sell for a Sur rune or 150 shards. I've got a fuck ton of these sigils. Am I missing tier 1 sigils? Oh no, there they are. Yeah, so I can make 34 of these, and I've still got a whole bunch left. So it's a hilarious amount. Oh, finally, someone. Anyways, I'll do this trade, then I'm off to bed. But yeah, that's Uber Ancients, and that's my kind of guide on it, my video. If you're thinking about doing it, give it a shot. You could try it offline and plug Y first before.